So I got to grow up in a really lucky situation where I got to know both of my grandfathers, who were really, really wonderful. And there was that awesome grandmother poem earlier, where you got so awesome. This crazy story, they had very different lives. One spent his whole life in Tokyo, one spent his whole life in San Pedro, not too far from here. And this crazy story kind of unfolded in the last couple of years that they both hadn't told me. That both of them were not much of talkers, but this is for them. This is called Tea. Oji-chama is what I call my Japanese grandfather. In 1945, his Tokyo home was burned to the ground. Granby is what I call my American grandfather. In 1945, he was serving his second year on the USS Shangri-La, sending off American fighter pilots to burn down Japanese houses. Our jaws have not yet healed. 1906, Poland. Granby's father is hiding in an oven. He has heard men singing on the street below. Hyenas, my family calls them. After celebration, drinks, and song, the outside townspeople come into the Jewish ghetto for a celebration beating. Molar fireworks and eyelid explosions. Even when Granby's father grows up, the sound of some song breaks his body into a sweat. Fear of joy is the darkest of captivities. 1975, Tokyo. My father, the long-haired student with a penchant for sexual innuendo, meets Reiko Hori, the well-dressed banker who gets the choruses to her favorite songs. 12 years later, they give birth to a lanky light bulb. 1999, my mother speaks to me in Japanese. Most days, I don't have the strength to ask her to translate the big words. We burned that house down, Mother. Don't you remember? 1771, Prague. In the heart of the city is a Jewish cemetery, the only plot of land where Granby's ancestors were allowed to be buried. When they ran out of room, they had no choice but to stack dead bodies, one on top of another. Now there are hills made from graves piled 12 deep, individual tombstones jutting out crooked like valiant teeth emerging from a jaw left to rot. 1985, my parents' wedding. The two families sit together, smiling wider than they need to. Montague must be so happy we can Capulet this all go. 2004. I sit with Granby's cousin, 91 and in full uniform. I beg with him to untie the knots in his brow. He says, "Hate is a strong word, but it is the only strength that I have left. How am I to forgive the men that severed the trunk of my family tree and used its timber to warm the faces of their own children?" 2010. Granby and I sit together watching his favorite, baseball. In the infertile glow of the television, I see his face wet. Granby sits in his wheelchair, teeth gasping out of his gums like valiant tombstones emerging from a cemetery left to rot. The teeth sit staring, and I can read them. William Kaye, killed at Dachau. Sarah Chodos, killed at Auschwitz. William Least, killed off the coast of Okinawa. I will never forget what has happened to our family, Granby. And he looks at me with the surprised innocence of a child struck for the first time. Philip, forgetting is the only gift I wish to give you. I have given away my only son trying to bury my hate in a cemetery that is already overflowing. There are nights I am kept awake by the birthday songs of children I chose not to let live. They often look like you. A plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me.